Today, I wanted to make a video about adversity, and I wanted to come out the shower and not really dry off and while I make this, because this is uncomfortable because I'm really cold right now and I have water over my face and all over me, so it's uncomfortable. And that's pretty much what adversity is, right? It's something that's really uncomfortable, but at the same time, it helps you, get to where you want to be. And that's pretty much what this situation is right now. I had to shower. This is uncomfortable, but it's gonna help me become more comfortable. But adversity is something that everyone goes through at some kind of degree, right? And pretty much what adversity is it's like a test of courage. That a lot of us go through. Some of us go through it on a public scale. Some of us go through it on a minor scale. But adversity doesn't come into your life to destroy you. It comes into your life to strengthen you. And if you notice, if you take the challenge and you don't let it, get the best of you, you may notice afterwards that it strengthened you a lot. A lot of us, we go through situations, it's so uncomfortable and unbearable, we don't really want to go through it. But, you know, some adversity we go through to help us rethink our lives. Some adversity comes from us, from our own actions. It helps us really understand the consequences of our actions, and it helps us understand kind of the life that we were living, and it can help us reevaluate our life. That's some form of adversity. Other forms of adversity comes to kind of open up your mindset, or to strengthen you, or to instill courage in you, or to test your courage. But yeah, I just want to say, when you go through these situations, if you do go through these situations, understand that it's not the end of the world. And especially when you go through like social adversity situations, I'll give you a little cheat for adversity when it comes to like social situations. It depends on the way you're living your life, but these situations, when it comes to like the public, like I think adversity, when I look at like public adversity situations and the tarot, it reminds me kind of like the tower. And the reason why I say that is when I watch a lot of, or hear about or read about like some people who go through like public adversity, I just watch and just analyze how it affects them and their life and everything like that. And I notice that it usually does them a good thing. They may not realize it. It's kind of like the tower. It's like they had this faulty foundation, pretty much what the tower is in tarot, a faulty foundation that you reside in, or that you are comfortable with, right? And it's home to you. But it's not really where you're supposed to be at, right? It's not good for your highest good, or really for yourself. So that's the reason why it's falling apart. And you see all these things that you're so comfortable with falling apart. People not liking you anymore. Companies distancing themselves from you. All these different things is going away in your life. You may be losing things and stuff like that. But understand that you will never lose anything that you're not meant to lose. That's really important to understand. So when you lose these things, it's so that you finally have the chance to build a tower that would not break. Instead of building a tower, you can now build like a castle or something like that. You can build something that has a foundation, and with a castle, you have people in a castle who pretty much govern certain aspects of that castle to make sure that these aspects are maintained. But like on a tower, you just have random people in a tower that just watch over the tower. It's not really a foundation, it's a secure foundation within it. But you're so used to it. So it's really important to, when you go through situations, it's really important to look at it for what it really is. Not only for the emotional side of it, but also look at, okay, this is happening. This is my life. So this is happening. It sucks that it's happening, but okay, we're in this. This is real life. This is happening. So let's see, what is this doing to my life? Yes, I see the negative things that's happening, but what positive? There's have to be some kind of positive that comes from this, right? And sometimes you really have to detach yourself from the entire situation to be able to see those positive situations. But understand that adversity can make you a really strong person. It really can. And it can help you build a life that will never break. And understand a lot of situations you go through are good for you. Something too, like some people who go to like prison and stuff like that, prison is not a bad thing for some people. And the reason why I say this is because it can help them understand their lives, understand why they're going through these situations, why their life the way how it is, why do they need to go to prison. It gives them a break from their environment and from the negativity that they're in and from their own actions. And it gives them an insight of being around people who do a lot of terrible things and people who made a lot of mistakes. And you can learn from these people and just see these things. And you can sit with yourself and be able to understand what you want for your future. But if you only think about the past, then you're just going to keep going through these limbo cycles and this human purgatory. But if you break free from that and you think about your future, you can build a new future for yourself. Everything isn't bad. Things that it really depends on how you perceive these things. What may be bad in your eyes, what may be bad for you that you see can be good for someone else. And what's good for you could be bad for someone else. It really depends on your mindset and your perspective and how you perceive things. Because I like to look at things from a neutral standpoint and see how it really affects this person in every aspect. We may be attached to a lot of things, but a lot of people are attached to things that are not really serving them. Because if it really serves you, why are you losing it? Right? If it really matters, if it's really good for your highest good, why are you losing it? You're losing it because you don't really need it. And you're so used to these things that are not good for you that you become super uncomfortable when you start losing it. Do you really need millions of people to really like you? Does it really bother you that much that you're hated by people? Does it really bother you that much that people think that you're someone that you're not? For me, when I went through a similar situation, when I went through like a similar situation with someone where she assumed that I sexually assaulted her because of a miscommunication between the both of us, that made me question myself a lot because it made me start thinking about my insecurities within myself and made me start thinking about how I felt with my dad, my relationship with my dad, and how I always tried so hard to not be someone like him because I always wanted to be someone who was really good to people and not abusive in any kind of way and all these different kinds of things and then take his problems out on people. So when that happened, that really made me feel away and really got at me. It was less about how the public viewed me or how anyone viewed me. It was more so about losing the trust of someone that I really cared for and for realizing that, I tried so hard to be this genuine guy and this guy who can treat people right and be there for them and all these different things and realize that, I'm still like the guy that I didn't want to be like. And that really messed with me. But eventually, I realized that that wasn't the case. And I started to realize that that whole situation was a really good situation because it made me realize the insecurity that I had in myself that I didn't realize that I still had. Because it made me realize that I didn't have trust in myself. And also, it made me realize about boundaries. And also, it made me realize about her situation as well. And correspondence and all these different kinds of things. It helped strengthen me as a person. It made me realize a lot about myself and the world. But anyway, it's pretty much what I'm saying is a lot of things stem from our own insecurities. You don't really need all these people to understand you or like you or appreciate you or whatever. All of us have dirt on us. All of us have, I don't have skeletons in my closet. I'd rather leave them on the fucking floor for people to see. I don't care. I'm human. Don't care. I don't act like I'm perfect. That's the reason why I make these videos, so you guys can understand. I don't act like I'm perfect. I make mistakes. I didn't have guidance. I had to figure things out day by day. My parents, my family, they don't really guide me. They just fear-monger me. So I have to figure these things out on my own. That's why I like to give you guys these videos to help you guys, so you guys don't make the same mistakes I have made. But yeah, you don't need all these people to like you. You know, you don't need to win the validation of people who have terrible karma and treat people terribly, you know? Like, what? I saw like a actor or something like that. Like, I think he was like a Creed 3 actor or something, like happened just a few days ago. He was arrested and he was dropped from some kind of a company or whatever. I don't remember, I don't care. But for assaulting a woman and verbally assaulting her. Like, that shit doesn't go on every day, all day with humans. Like, it's just so interesting just analyzing things. Do you really need the validation of these people? Because that's what a lot of adversity I see where people face, a lot of public adversity. Just feel comfortable with yourself. Know who you are. Because it doesn't matter if you're on a large scale or a minor scale. There's always going to be people who's going to tell you what you shouldn't do with your life and all these different things. And it comes from their own misery and their own, like, insecurities and stuff like that. Trusting yourself, you know who you are, and know mistakes happen. They have to happen. And understand that as you're navigating the world and trying to figure out what people are best suited for you, you come from a family that's not all that great. You have to deal with energies that are more selfish and that are more self-absorbed and stuff like that. And it's good to not let those things get to you and to be strong within yourself. Triumph through the things that you go through and don't let it get the best of you. Be strong, be brave, be courageous, and understand that there's life beyond that. It's better to be appreciated and liked by people who understand you and get you and care for you, rather than be unanimously liked by people. Because if you're unanimously liked, you have to have on this like goody two shoes image. Like, that's really hard to keep up with. You have to act like your life is glamorous and all this shit, blah blah blah. That's like, so my family is like that. I'm never really fucking got it. I'd rather just show you who I am. If you don't like it, you don't like it. If you like it, you like it. I don't care enough. I like me. If you don't like me, then get the fuck out my face. Why are you here? Why are you looking at me? Go somewhere else. Bye. Fuck off. That's just how I am. I just don't care enough. Because I just see people for who they are. I can see their fate. I can see them for who they are. So why am I trying to impress people who aren't really doing what they're supposed to be doing? People just need to be honest, and just be themselves. But yeah, adversity, don't let these things get you down. Don't think it's the end of the world. When these things happen, it happens to help you be able to realize who's meant to be in your life. So now you have a certain amount of people that don't like you. That's cool, because now it's easier for you to identify the people who do like you. If people can like you when other people don't like you, those people will really care about you. And they're genuine people and they're real people, because they're not following the leader. Those who follow the pack and are like, oh, okay, so we don't like this person? Okay, cool. I don't like this person now. You don't want people like that in your life. You don't want people like that in your life. You want people who actually fucking think for themselves and are like, I can understand him. Like, I see it. And people who are like that probably went through their own things as well. Those are real people. You don't want the masses, or just Like I said in the other video, like the masses are just killing themselves. They're just walking blindly. They don't know what the fuck's going on. They're acting like they don't have problems of their own and that people don't have problems. Like this isn't real life. Like shit's happening out here, you know? But yeah, don't focus on impressing all these random ass people. It doesn't fucking matter. That's what I would usually just tell my mom and shit like that. Like, dude, why am I trying to impress someone who I'm gonna forget about as soon as I meet them? They didn't impress me. They're just like everybody else. Why do I care? I don't remember most people I meet. So why the fuck do I care about this person? Why? Why should I care? Why should I care about an exchange that I'm going to forget about? Why? Because why am I going to remember someone who doesn't have love for me, who doesn't understand me, who doesn't appreciate me? Why do I care? Why should I care? Why should I give them energy? Why? That's just a waste of energy. I'd rather give that to people who actually care about me and actually understand me, who actually have a fucking, opinion, who actually not like a fucking like a soul that's following their soul, rather than just like a bunch of people who just do like it's like bro, it's literally like an MMO, bro. Like, why am I giving energy to NPCs? Why am I sitting here just talking to NPCs and befriending NPCs and shit? Fuck the NPCs. They only have a set few amounts of like. They only have like 5 commands. They only have 5 commands. That's why they say the same shit over and over again. They're not literally NPCs, by the way, but they act like it because they don't think for themselves. NPCs can't think for themselves because it's programmed into them what to say. It's just like an NPC, like a video game. It's not literally a video game, but it's like that shit. But yeah, wake the fuck up. It's fine, you know? I think adversity makes people attractive, if you ask me, because it shows me how brave they are. And I like brave people. And I like people who stand for themselves and stuff like that. You know, when you go through things and stuff like that, it's a really exciting time because it shows you really cares about you. Because the people who really care about you will support you when you're going through stuff. But the people who don't really care about you, they'll just act like it never happened. And then once you're recovered, then they'll try to be around you again. Fuck those people. Focus. You don't need to be liked by everybody. You don't need to be understood by everybody. It's okay. Trust me, it's completely fine. Be good.